Sit the f down. Okay, now that I called your attention, welcome to the aiming guide. First, I'm gonna give you guys some easy tricks you can use to immediately hit more shots, and then we're gonna be talking about how I managed to go from 36 to almost 50% weapon accuracy in just 1 week. But yeah, I can guarantee that after watching this video, you're gonna be hitting more shots than before. And I should also mention that most of these tricks work for hitscan heroes as well, but I'm gonna be talking about Hanzo's perspective since that's my main hero. If a target is reacting to you, as in they know you're trying to shoot at them, they will most likely strafe left and right to avoid getting shot. Most of the time, the best way to deal with this is to pick one side where you hold your crosshair and wait until they change direction to walk back into your crosshair. So there's two types of targets in this game. There's the free target who's not aware you're shooting at them, and then there's the reacting target who's actively trying to dodge your shots. So here's an example of how I salvage a situation where my free target becomes a reacting target. Okay, let's look at the clip once before I break it down. So first of all, Arrge's position is obvious from the sound and the bullet trail, and my team is not shooting at her, so she will most likely be standing still to maximize her accuracy. So I get a free shot. Her reaction is to strafe right instead of turning to run away, so she's likely to stay to take the 1v1, thus I predict that she will try to dodge my next shot by changing strafing direction, so I shoot the original location again. Waiting to shoot until your target is on a predictable path will increase your accuracy considerably. The most common example is waiting for your target to run for cover like the BAP and Zen in this example. Here is the most basic example I could find. Arrge is taking damage, busy trying to run away from Genji, so you can easily predict where she will run. And the obvious answer here is that she will try to run inside or past the door, so I wait for her to get into position and then shoot at the door. If the target is putting all his effort into dodging your shots, like in this clip, just switch targets for a while and then come back to him. Also, make sure you perfect your starting position for every map, since especially in low ranks, getting even one pick in the beginning might result in you snowballing the whole round. If you can't shoot directly at the spawn door, you should wait until your target can't really go back to cover before you start shooting to maximize your chances of getting a pick. Most Hanzo players underestimate the time they have to take a shot, mostly because once you shoot your target, they will react and become more unpredictable, so you feel like it was the right choice to shoot before they became unpredictable, when in reality, it is you shooting at them what caused them to start moving in an unpredictable way. Also, one huge pitfall that some of your targets will do is they will react by jumping, which makes it almost impossible for them to change direction, like this Anna here. So you get a free shot.
Woo! Let's f***ing go!
Okay, you're cracked up. You gotta stay.
Here's a flank in a top 500 match. I wait until the fight starts so that the enemy team is as distracted as possible. One of the biggest strengths of Hanzo over Widowmaker is that Hanzo is such a quiet hero that unless the enemy team has very good communication or they see you or your arrows, most of the enemy team will have no idea where you are. I spam storm arrows after the first shot, since the Hammond is helping me burn down Zarya, and there are so many other variables as well that make her movement too unpredictable. And this Ashe 1v1 is the basic trick of waiting for her to just walk back into my crosshair. I explained it earlier. And the Ana is a free shot since no one is shooting at her, so she's standing almost completely still to maximize her accuracy. Here's a pretty long clip. My aim is kinda flicky because I was exhausted and sweating my butt off, but it has a lot of good tips for you guys. The clip has good tips, not my butt. Here my tanks back up, so I know the enemy will push forward, so I immediately launch backwards to use my dragon. I climb up to try to get a quick pick, and then go back down to get the health back. And now I try to pick off the Mercy. I hit her once and I hold my crosshair on her left side, but she instead strafes towards the shield, so I do a flick to save the situation. I then quickly change position to try to get a better and safer angle and to make the enemies think I backed up. I land a couple shots on the Sigma, but he shields up. I know the Ana is aware of my position because she tried to shoot me, so I fake jumping back down and then immediately climb back up and get the free kill since she stops moving because she thinks she is safe. And at this point there's just way too much adrenaline and dopamine for me to be able to stop myself from flicking and flailing my mouse. And then I finally lose all brain activity and unalive myself. In this clip, most of my team is dead, so they just rush me instead of playing it safe, so I use this to my advantage. One tip to remember, don't be lazy. Even if your target is behind a shield, still shoot at him like he was free in the open. Okay, let me break this clip down for you. Here I shoot at the McCree since he won't expect it due to the Brigitte being in my face. And after the first hit he rolls, which locks his movement just like jumping, so I get a free shot again. I put down my sonic arrows so that I can position my shots without having to peek. And once again I shoot at the guy behind the brig since he will expect me to shoot the guy in front instead. I managed to get a lucky headshot at the brig since I was using the previous tip of aiming at targets through the shields. And the Orisa kill is just basic tracking with rapid fire. Okay, so if you really don't wanna practice Hanzo in competitive mode or you just wanna warm up, I recommend you go to Aim Arena. I still recommend you rather practice in competitive mode, because in Aim Arena there are a lot of players who only focus on their movement in a way that it gives a very false picture of how a 1v1 would go in an actual match. And not to mention there's no cover, which is Hanzo's strongest ally. Probably the best skill you can acquire from playing Aim Arena is learning to keep your crosshair at head level, which is a big part of having a more consistent aim, and also to practice the experimental aiming style that I'm gonna be talking about next. Okay, let's talk about the new aiming style that really boosted my weapon accuracy. I'll put some gameplay on the background while I talk. So firstly, I worked on eliminating all useless mouse movements between shots and adopting this deliberately slow mouse movement, kinda like I would be role-playing one of those smooth-moving cameras in movies. And this comes with many benefits. Even though I have an extremely low mouse sensitivity, 3.85 with 800 dpi, I still move my mouse slower than I have to. I basically just move my mouse extremely slow unless I feel like I'm going to miss my window of opportunity unless I get the shot out as fast as possible, like the Genji kill here. It felt very unnatural at first, but every time I was missing more shots than normal, I would switch to this new aiming style and I immediately became way more accurate. I kept doing this over and over, and now after a couple weeks it is basically my new default aiming style. It keeps my consistency up when it comes to these small corrective crosshair movements, so I don't miss the crucial shots on free targets like I sometimes would before due to my arm being glued to the table or my arm just being kinda asleep, causing me to either overshoot or undershoot the target or even not move my mouse at all. So it also works as a warm-up movement that some people do in between team fights, like for example doing circles with your crosshair or just shaking your mouse. The slow mouse movement also makes it easier to keep your eyes in the game, even more so if you have a low refresh rate monitor or if your eyes are tired. If everyone likes this video, I could do like a more advanced guide next with more tricks, or maybe like a setup guide where I talk about what is important, like the armrest height and mouse sensitivity, stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to see more gameplay, I stream twice a day, 6 days a week on Twitch. We are a small community of 80 average view count, so feel free to come hang out, interact with me and the community. And we also have a Discord server you can join. I'll leave the links in the video description below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you out, please consider leaving a like and a comment. It really helps me out. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.